What's up, everybody? Mark with Ecom Warriors. Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be filming episode number 2 of the Shopify dropshipping series. If you have not yet seen this video is the very first one. It is the video that I'm pointing on the screen. In fact, I will be creating a playlist, so it will be available in the playlist section. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. And something that I do want to say is we are taking the time, guys, in 2021 to create a store around interesting type of products. Not just, products that are, casual, kind of like everybody sells them, kind of like clothing, like we did in our past series. But we're taking the time to create something new, something intriguing. And that's something that I recommend everybody take the time to do. Think outside the box of what can you offer customers in 2021 if you want your dropshipping store to succeed. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead and just get this out of the way. There we go. Now, what I do want to say is I have no scripted game plan here. What I'm doing is I'm editing the store in a way that you guys would normally edit a store yourself. And the thing that's interesting here, and the thing that everybody has to realize, is that there are going to be mistakes along the way, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix them. And I think that's the most, essentially the best way that we're going to be able to tackle problems head on. Okay? So, something that I noticed in terms of problems is I see this little box popping up, and it's empty. It's like a white box. Now, what you guys are seeing, that little white box that pops up, it's supposed to be a pop-up that shows the sales. Now, it doesn't show it here. And the reason why is because I'm not selecting the right collection. So, let's go ahead and jump into that right away. Also, something that I do see automatically, and I know this guy will catch your eyes, and I've talked about this before in the last video, is not all the images are the same size, which is something we're going to have to optimize once we start editing the crux of the theme. I am using the Wolf theme. I'm using demo number 5. If you're not familiar with the Wolf of Shopify theme, go check it out. I'll leave my discount code in the description box down below. If you don't know, Wolf of Shopify theme is my current highest converting theme to date. So if you don't know about it, check out my other videos. I've actually talked about the conversion tactics, the reason why they are at a high conversion rate. This series specifically right here, where it says episode 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, and 1 here. This is the building a store, Shopify store step-by-step live tutorial. This is the one that you're going to want to check out, okay? I've talked about the conversion optimization there, and I've actually talked about why conversion optimization is so important. If I was to just give you guys a quick example with Shopify, if you could just bear with me here for just a minute. The reason why conversion optimization matters so much with a Shopify store is because, let's face it, you guys are investing your hard work, your time, your money, and your effort into getting people to visit your store, right? Let's say you had 100 visitors. Out of this 100, imagine if your conversion rate was 2%, right? Which is actually the store average for Shopify. Across the whole entire Shopify platform, the average is about 2%. But imagine that 2%, let's say 2%, that's 2 sales out of 100, right? So what would that mean? Let's say you're selling a product for $13, like we see here, right? That's $26 in revenue. Now, imagine if your conversion rate was 5%, was 6%, right? That 6 would be multiplied by 13 because now it's 6 customers out of 100, not 2. And then your revenue has more than tripled, right? $78. So if you went from 26 to 78, and so that might be, what, close to triple? Yeah, that's triple. So what I'm saying here is that your conversion rate matters, and it's very, very practical in a sense with the Wolf theme to achieve a high conversion rate at that level. In fact, the highest conversion rate I've ever tested and I've ever had before was a 16.8% conversion rate on Shopify. Now, there were other platforms where I did have higher than 16%. I think at one point I think it was the year before last year, the highest conversion rate I ever seen was a 33% conversion rate, and I still have that store till today, and it's at a 22.4% conversion rate. So it did drop significantly, but it's still doing very, very well. That means 1 in every 4 customers is going to purchase, which is huge. Okay, so let's just go ahead and tackle some of these issues, and let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, I'm using demo number 5. I'm not necessarily going to stick with the design that you're seeing. I already created the Instagram account, and now it's just a matter of time of me posting the photos for the Instagram account, so we will tackle that in the next episode, so don't worry about that. But let's go over here and jump into theme settings. Now we're going to look for the pop-up section. So there should be a little thing here that says pop-up. There we go, pop-up theme. And we're going to go ahead and scroll down. And it should say something about like product that was sold, something like that. Let's see here. So let's see here. I got to read through all of them. I know they're eventually here somewhere because what this is a pop-up, right? About the amount of sales. So we have the newsletter pop-up here, right? Sign up for exclusive, whatever. Then we have the pop-up login, which is not important. We have enable random product. You can see here it says select collection, and the collection is not selected. So this is for this one specifically, pop-up random product. Then we hit select collection, and we're going to hit this little collection that we created called Chrome Wraps, because obviously we're selling something exclusive here. So let's hit select, and let's kind of wait for this to load. You can see this green bar up here is loading. You want to take your time and just let that load. Any kind of critical change that you're going to be creating to a store, just let this load out, and if you could just wait patiently, you could see it's popping up now. Now, once we optimize the image size and all that, this is going to fit really well. But basically what this pop-up does is it has multiple different purposes. So the first purpose is a conversion optimization tactic. Now, this, in terms of conversion optimization, it has to match the characteristics of the product page. What do I mean by that? So if I was to click on the product page, let's just give this a second, guys, while it loads. If I was to click on the product page, right, or any product page, you can see here we have a special offer box. We have a counter that says 13 sold in the last 24 hours. If we were to edit the product page, right, if I was to head over to product detail here, click on the theme settings, we have a little checkbox. I'll enable this, right, and it will have a little section here of where it has like a countdown timer, and you'll see this in a minute if I selected the right box, but we'll see here. Let's give it a little second. There we go. And what I'll actually do is I'll switch this from the drop down to color swatches so that there's a little space between here, because it doesn't look good. It's not designed to be together. And so once again, it's loading. But what this is going to do from a conversion standpoint, imagine if I was to create a Facebook ad, which is the number one way to gain traffic for your store. Imagine if I was to create, let's say, a Facebook ad, right? And this Facebook ad says limited quantity, limited stock, get 30% off of your order, etc., right? Go ahead and redeem this offer before the offer is over. Well, what you're going to do as a business person or as a human being in general, you're going to look at that ad, right? And you're going to say, wow, let me check out this offer. Now, as a consumer's not thinking this person created a Shopify store, etc., right? As an entrepreneur, you're kind of numb to that, but as a consumer, you're not thinking that. You're going to think it's a great deal. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up on the website. Let me go ahead and save my progress so far, just so you guys can see. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to end up on the homepage of the website, right? You're going to see all these products, and then you're going to see a little pop-up that says, Jack, whatever, from New York, whatever, purchased a, and then the product, and then it says the time, 8 minutes ago, right? Then you're going to see another pop-up. And this is all as you're browsing through the website. Now, mind you, you're still a customer here, right? So then you're going to see a product that catches your attention. Now, mind you, you've been through the psychological, essentially the cognitive treatment or conditioning, right? That there's limited amount of stock. There's a limited amount of product. And this is scarcity. And I actually teach this in, where was it here? This video here, Skyrocket Conversions. It's either this one or this one. Let's see. I think it's this one. This video right here, the 23-minute video, I've actually essentially taught a course on it, right, in that video of why this works. And scarcity is one of the cognitive biases. And what a cognitive bias is, it's just a default way human beings think. And so when they're essentially presented with some sort of conditioning factor, so let's say the conditioning factor is that they think that the product is scarce, it's of limited resources, right? They're going to think that because of the ad. However, there could be some mistrust within their emotions, within their feelings. When they come to the website and they see this pop-up, what's happening is they're becoming reassured a little bit. This is what we call a microagreement by correlation bias, right? they see that, oh, the product sold 44 minutes ago. Wow, that's interesting, right? And then they're going to see another product of something that sold 8 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, an hour ago, whatever the case may be. Once they click on a product that then catches their attention, they're seeing a sold counter here. So X amount sold in the last few hours. Wow, okay, that all plays into the fact that they saw this ad that's telling them limited stock available, and it's giving them an incentivization factor, right? That helps boost their conversion, that helps boost their need and desire and want for the product, right? Because of incentivization when they're offering a certain discount. And on top of that, you're seeing a stock countdown timer that says, hurry, only 9 left, only 10 left, only etc. amount left, right? On top of that, we can even add another feature within the product detail where we show a certain amount of people watching or are currently on the website, which really does blow up conversions, because now people are interested in how many people are visiting the site. And so let me just see here those different features. I mean, we have a whole bunch of them here. Where is it here? Let's see if this is the one. I could be wrong. This might not be the feature, but let's go ahead and check here. There is a little section here that also, it's similar to this, but it's a counter. It shows the amount of people that are live on the website. And this is a great theme, like I said, for beginners. All right, yeah, this is not the one. So there's a different one here. Maybe this is the one. But like I said, it shows a counter. I can't really figure out where it is. I'm sure I'll show it in like one of the later episodes, but it shows a counter of how many people are actively on the website, right? And this kind of thing matters. I think maybe it's in the, yeah, here we go. So we have the real-time visitor count. There it is, right? And so when the consumer is seeing the amount sold, right? They saw the ad. They're seeing a countdown timer. And by the way, guys, you can edit all these numbers that's showing up right here, right? 30 real-time visitors. What's happening is their mind is being played into the scarcity factor. And so the scarcity factor is the most important cognitive bias in correlation with others. This is called the Lollapalooza effect. When you have all these cognitive biases that make a human being think a certain way, when they're all placed together, okay, they motivate the consumer drastically. Why do you think, Black Friday works so well? It's because number one, there's a sale, right? Black Friday sales. Then the second thing is that they know that other people by default are going to want it. And the third thing is that it's of limited stock, right? It's scarcity. Since everybody's going to, steamroll through the products and buy as much as they can, there's a scarcity factor. So all those three factors together come together and create Lollapalooza effect. The more of these characteristics or biases that you can include within your business, the higher chance you have at succeeding. And so, for example, when you have this, these 3 boxes here, these are what I call focal points, right? These 3 focal points, why choose us, returns, shipping, right? And you can edit this information within the settings, by the way, right? When you have these things, this is what creates reassurance bias, okay? Reassurance bias creates trust. And so, for example, if I see a thing on returns here, and I learned that if my product is undamaged, I can return it. This creates comfort. This creates trust. This creates reassurance that, okay, I have no problem buying the product. And especially if you're a good entrepreneur and you're convinced that the consumer's gonna order your product and they're going to be very happy with your product, then, there's no reason why you shouldn't offer some kind of return or something like that, or kind of refund to help guarantee or not guarantee, but give the customer more comfort. And like I said, all these features, all these different tactics play in together. And I've actually shown a different video about the differences between paid themes and paid apps, because people can technically pay for apps to add all these features together, right? But they're going to end up paying something like $74 a month. Meanwhile, if you were to just get the theme, it's significantly cheaper because you're paying a one-time fee. Does that make sense? So that's something I think everybody should be aware of. And like I said, these are the reasons why I do use this specific theme. But let's just go ahead and continue. So something that I would have to do in my own time is I need to make sure that all images are roughly the same size so that they could just look clean on the website. Even though you do have these kind of cognitive biases, it doesn't take away from the fact that the website needs to look clean. It needs to look organized, and it needs to look essentially, in a way, it needs to look presentable, right? If these are different images, it might work. Different size images, it might work. But at the end of the day, these people don't really trust me. They don't know who I am. When I'm selling a product, I need to essentially look presentable, right? So as long as like the images are somewhat the same size, so you can see this product and this product, they look about the same size, or I'm assuming like this image right here is about the same size as those and this image. So I would think that's okay, but the images that are like really big, I would have to, cut them down a little, make sure they're all are roughly the same size. They don't have to be exact, but just roughly, right? Now, let's go ahead and do some organization to our store. You can see clearly here I haven't created a logo yet, but I'm going to discuss that in a second. I'm just going to actually pause the screen, and I'm going to create the logo, and I'm just going to paste it on our store here so I could show you the difference between header and desktop logos. Okay, so I created a quick logo. This was the logo. I just created it in Canva. I took a screenshot of it. And now let's go ahead and upload it. So to upload your logo, there's two places to upload a logo, okay? So you have this header, right? You're going to have to click on this. This is just at the beginning when you hit customize, you have the header. And you have a logo image here. You want to select image, and you want to go ahead and upload the image. Now, there's free images. All these images are what's called a raster image. And a raster image is just an image that's kind of like this. Like if you zoomed in all the way, it's pixelated. It's not really a vector. Now, in my case, I do recommend that you upload a vector type logo, but it really, as a beginner, it's not going to matter too much. So let me just drag and drop this logo here. And you could see here, it's going to actually be oversized. So it's a little bit too big for my liking. But that's not a problem, because this is what the wolf theme does for you here, is you can downsize it, right? So we can just drag and drag this little bar here, and you can see it's downsized. And this is about the perfect size for me. So right away, I'm just going to go ahead and save my progress. Something you always want to do, guys, is continually save your progress. Now, I know that might be a beginner example of like, how to build a store, and it's a little tip. But the truth is, I've done so many work on so many stores in the past, and I was so busy into doing the work where something happened, and maybe the website, didn't save properly, or my browser shut down, or maybe my computer went out of power, whatever the case may be, and I lost all my progress. So I'm always recommending that you save your progress. Now, what you can see here is that as I'm scrolling down my logo, I have what's referred to as a sticky header. Right? And so basically what a sticky header means is that as I'm scrolling down, this whole bar here is going to scroll down with me. Now you can notice that it's a little bit transparent here. And notice how there's like a box around the logo and it's like all white. Well, this is actually my logo. I didn't download a transparent version. Now, I know for a fact that not everybody is going to pay for a premium version of Canva, and they're not going to be able to have a transparent version. So in my recommendation, right, when you have this little white box, I recommend that you go to the background color here and make it fully white, not transparent at all, right? Because what's going to happen is then it's going to be cream white. Now, if we scroll down here, or milk white, not cream white, rather, if I scroll down here, I want to make sure that it's not sticky. So basically what not sticky means is that when I scroll down, the header is not going to scroll with me. So basically what I could do here is I could select this enable sticky and remove it, so that when I scroll down, it's not going to be sticky, and the header is not going to show also, if that's something you're worried about, or to show any flaws within your logo. But like I said, for a beginner, you don't need to have the best logo. In fact, something I want to say is that a lot of people make a lot of mistakes on the logo as beginners. They think that, the logo is the most important part of your store, and that's actually the opposite of the truth. The truth is you need a logo that people will kind of just remember how it looks, maybe remember the name of the website, but that's really it. The logo is almost irrelevant, and the reason why is because people are not purchasing your products for your logo. They're purchasing your products because they're interested in your products. They're interested in what you offer. They're not interested in a logo, right? When was the last time you bought a product just because of how the logo looked? It doesn't really happen too often, at least not anymore. Maybe it used to happen a lot in the past, but not currently, okay? Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things we got going on here. So what we're looking at here is this kind of looks like to me as some kind of split banner or something like that. Let's see what's going on here within this banner. We have banner number 4. Let's just see here what it looks like. So banner number 4 is white because our background is white, so it's not going to look good. And I'm actually sitting in at 19 minutes within this episode, so I have to make sure it goes well. But let me just add some color here. So we want text color for the text. Yeah, this is basically a split banner. So if I was to add an image, and you'll just see a random image here, you can see here it's a split banner. Or excuse me, not a split banner, it's a 3-part banner. So basically what a 3-piece banner looks like, and this is my mistake, it's not a split banner, is when there's an image here, there's a white box here of text, and then there's another image here. So the best way to do this is, imagine if let me just search cars here as an example, since we are selling cars, but as an example, or not cars, we're selling wraps of cars, right? This is just an example so I can end the video off. And these are not the images we're going to go with. I'm going to have to go scoping out for some images. And for people who are actually following the series, I recommend that you do the same for the next episode. And like I said, don't try to bog yourself down to get all the work in one day. You have a 14-day free trial that Shopify offers. So don't try to get it all done in one day. Just take your time, all right? And, I'm here with you guys, and I'm doing the process with you. So I'll just pick another photo of another car, just since we're doing it like this. And you can see here, this is an example of how it looks. Now, something that I don't like is how the text of the bottom, section is coming up into this banner. And that's what we're actually going to take into our hands right now. It says margin bottom, and we're just going to write like something like 20 pixels. And you'll notice how this will move down for a second. And we could write even more, let's say 200 pixels. You could see how it moved down now, 200 pixels. So it gave it some space. So this is just a quick example. I'll go ahead and save my progress for now. What I'm going to do off screen, just so everybody is aware, is I'm going to go find some cool images that might fit this store. And I'm just going to save them into our store here. So that's what I recommend you also do. Just for everybody to be aware of how far we got so far, we added all the products in episode 1. I kind of showed that before, so I definitely recommend everybody check out episode 1. And this is literally where we're starting, guys. So there's no shame in being a starter or beginner. This is exactly what we're doing, and I'm showing what everything we're doing. I selected demo number 5. Okay, you guys can select whatever demo you want. At the end of the day, every demo is going to have the same features. They're just pre-saved or pre-selected features. So whatever demo you want to go with for Wolf, go with that. I personally am going with demo number 5, not for any reason, just because I think the past demos, I think I used version number 3 or version number 2. I really don't remember. I know they made some changes, so just be aware of that and keep up with the series. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.